This is the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. I'm your host, the PatMan, live from the Bay to LA and beyond. Yeah, my ankle is broken, but my spirits are not. Won't you listen to this awesome tune I created a few years ago? I call it Cannabis Jazz. Cannabis Jazz. Only on the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. This is the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. I'm your host, the PatMan, from the Bay to LA and beyond. That's right. If I'm not feeling, or if I'm not sounding like my usual upbeat self, it's because I am on my back, literally on my back. I have this what they call a vac machine. It's a portable vac machine, and it's how do I describe it? It's like a suction that fits into the cast of your foot. I guess whenever you have a surgery, they want to make sure there's no infection, and it's constantly sucking out whatever is coming out. So weird, but this is technology in 2020. I have to give thanks to God always, the creator who is you and I, coming together on Mother Earth to do good on planet Earth with humanity and serving humanity and just being grateful for life. So I'm grateful to see the sunshine. Got the curtains open, the dogs barking, the roosters crowing. I'm not jiving about the roosters crowing either. The rooster over here, he crows like 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning. Seriously. How did it happen? So, yeah, I no longer look at that commercial, and I've seen that commercial like 3 or 4 times while in the hospital. The I've fallen and I can't get up. It's not even funny. It's not even funny, people. Because when my wheel, now, well, let me take you back a bit. I'll take you back to that morning of the ride. I was preparing to, I've been indoors. I recorded episode 43 about a week prior. And I spent the rest of the week indoors, sending out my resume and, replying to different jobs, just getting ready to move forward in the universe and everything that I want to do to regards of, my cookie business, Dude Can Bake, the podcast, the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. And I was contemplating moving back to the Bay Area. There was a few positions that had come up, and I figured maybe it's time for me to transition back to the Bay, being that I'd been in LA for about 15 years, and it just seems like there's a lot of things working on the back end of things, connecting with some of the right people and not connecting with some of the right people, and I just spent the whole week churning out my resume and getting really great responses. I had a few recruiters reach out, and they've uploaded my resume as well. So I was feeling really, really good, really positive. I've been listening to Barry Long, How to Stop Thinking. If you listen to a few of my podcasts before, I'm actually talking about Barry Long, and I actually give a link on my Facebook to find him on YouTube. I remember looking at the analytics and statistics for seeing how many listeners I had the Sunday before, the Sunday morning before the ride. And I was like, wow, 675 listens, 10 followers, and I think 19 downloads. So, I wasn't too happy about that. So I was actually just gathering notes on how I can monetize the podcast, how I could get some pointers from a few other podcasting gurus who have been doing it longer than I have. I've been doing it for now going on 2 years. But I had the plan to go 7 days a week. So I took, I did it for 7 days, or I did it up to 43 episodes. And then I took a break. The sun, like I said, the sun was shining all week long. I remember that the Friday before, I'd sent a letter to a couple of friends of mine that I used to work for and work with, and that was like a letter of forgiveness, because one of the things I was learning as I was progressing on my enlightenment journey of newness was giving up a lot of the things that no longer bothered me anymore, but I wanted to clear the air with folks who I love dearly and just had not been in touch with. And so I sent a letter to them, and I remember seeing one of the responses, out fishing, and I laughed because that was pretty. If the person hadn't responded, one of the persons hadn't responded, and seeing that out fishing just made me laugh, and I was like, all right, he's still in good spirit, and he's probably definitely out fishing. I grew up fishing and hunting, and family doing stuff like that, so I can appreciate being on a boat and going out fishing. Take the day off on a Friday and go do what you do best. There's a dog barking in the backyard. Not my yard, but my sister's, where my sister lives. He's a little angry dog. He's not talking to anybody. He's just barking. There's a lot of cats in the area. So he gets his bark on from time to time. So you might hear him yammering. So let's see. So Saturday, I don't think I got out to do much. And Sunday, I planned on bicycling. I think Saturday I went out to, wash some clothes. Yeah. I think I got out to wash some clothes. Connected with a buddy of mine, Anthony, who works at Apotec. And we've been working to try to get my culinary and chef and baking thing into play. So I connected with him. I believe it was at Saturday. And then Sunday I planned on, I was like, sun comes out, stays out. I'm going to get on my bike. I'm going to ride. I got my MP3s, got my positive music, got my positive affirmations and stuff I wanted to listen to while on the trail. And I second guessed on how I should do that, because I bought this trailer thing that adjusts to my bike, and that's because I didn't want to have things on my back. And if I didn't second guess, I may have used the trailer thing, because the weight capacity, it's better to have the weight on the bike than the weight on yourself. So I end up, packing a few things, a few books, journals, my lock. Not like I said before that I would never lock my bicycle up, because it's a very expensive bicycle. It's a Cannondale SI, 2019. I bought it for my birthday as a gift to myself. And so I got out maybe about 1 o'clock. My sister had just gotten back from church. And I was like, well, I'm heading to church myself. And my church was getting out to nature and listening to some positive meditations and just taking it all in, and that morning I pulled this card, this reminder card. It said abundance. And if I can find my phone, I'll actually read what the card said, because I ended up sending it out to a few friends. When I pulled it, and I was like, oh, this is a great message to have thought, to ride to. I'll read the message from my boy Keith. Pat, you're killing me. Hey, I gotta tell it like it is. Gotta tell it like it is. So let me see if I can find this message for you. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope someone's out there listening to my podcast, or somewhere down the line you'll listen and hear this very inspiring story from let's see, it's kind of hard to navigate on this phone of photos. Here we go. So also during the week, I had I've been interacting for about a year with this guy trying to get me to trade Bitcoin. Now, I didn't own any Bitcoin, but a friend of mine gave me some to play around with. And turns out this guy had the guy that was, on me about trading was, I busted him. I busted him big time. His name is Fred Nigan. If you ever see this guy, don't interact. Don't interact with anybody on Instagram that has anything talking about their Bitcoin gurus, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. It's a ploy, and I discovered 5 to 6 different sites that had the same template, same bull. They try to get you to upload your Bitcoin and say it's going to trade at, $1,000 a day. I busted them big time. I contacted the right authorities, and though I lost a few Bitcoins that I had, at least, I busted them and got their site pulled down. They were using this chat service, and I contacted the chat service to let them know they were using it, and they were a fraud company, and they said they suspended their account. I haven't checked in on that since. Also, what happened during the week, I entered a pie contest. Homegirl hit me up, said that KCRW was having their 10th annual good food pie contest, or good food pie contest. So I entered that for my pecan almond crumble sweet potato pixie pie. You ain't never had nothing like that before, because last time I baked it, I ate it all. It was so good I couldn't help myself. So, but let me see. So these are some of the pictures that I took some pictures of I didn't take any pictures on the trail because I got to the bike trail, and I got to the bike trail below a creek, and there was a lot of people out, so I just wanted to take it all in. I didn't really have time to take pictures, or I don't have time to take pictures. So I went to Culver City Park, and I took a few pictures there. Wow, can't find the abundance. Anyway, it was abundance. It was saying, create the picture in your mind how, everything that you've prayed for, everything is coming your way, financially, spiritually, etc., etc. Imagine what that looks like. And everything is coming your way. I was like, awesome. So I get on my get on the bike trail. I never ride with my earphones on, and if I do, I have one ear out. But while I was on the trail, I had the earphones on, and then I pulled over and did some stretching, did a little yoga. I didn't want to be on the road too late, even though I had lights. They aren't the brightest lights on the trail. So I had just enough change to, take the train, and something told me to ride instead. Oh, God. Right in the middle of, I can't even answer this call. Someone always calls right when I'm in the middle of a podcast. I can't talk. Text me, can't call. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. I'll call her in 15 minutes. So yeah, something steered me from taking the train back, on my bike, and I ended up riding, the rest of the way because it was still nice outside. But I should have jumped on the train. I wish I jumped on the train. I didn't think I had enough money at first because I had enough to buy another card because it's $175, but then it's another $2 just to buy a card, the Metro card. And in that counted change, I actually had exact amount, but I still end up riding. And had I not end up riding, had I not end up riding, I wouldn't be in this position right now. Can't do it to shouldas, couldas, wouldas, but so I proceed to cross the bike path. There's a bike trail along Exposition, and along Gramercy Place is when it switches over to Exposition on the other side, the bike trail. And I remember seeing this guy coming across the bike. I'm not sure where this guy came from, but he came from out of nowhere across the train tracks. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's the way to go. And I go across the tracks as well. And somehow my wheel slips into the tracks itself. I go flying over onto the tracks. The weight of my backpack throws me off. I look down. I remember going hand first over the wheels. Didn't hit my head. Didn't scratch anything else. Had my gloves on. But then I look down and I look at my foot, my right foot, and my right foot is twisted to the left. Twisted to the left. It was like something out of a cartoon. I'm not kidding you. And, out of the adrenaline rush or whatever, I go and I twist it back to the right like I'm some, Marine in the Army, Rambo type of thing. So I twist it back and don't remember feeling a whole lot of pain in between when the fall happened and in between me twisting. I just knew that, something was broken, sprang, whatever, and I couldn't move. Now, at that time, the trains were still running. They were still coming. I didn't hear an ambulance. I didn't hear anything. I was just more concerned of getting myself up and out of the way. As people drove by, they were checking to see if I was okay, if I needed help. I was like, yes, I need help. So this one brother, he pulled over, and this sister, she pulled over, and they went to get my bike before the train in the opposite direction going to Santa Monica was coming. And then they got me out of the way in time for the train that was coming, heading to downtown, because on Sundays it's not a lot of people on the road. So and it was a nice day. There was a lot of people at the beach that day. These two awesome angels came to help me and stayed with me until my sister came, because I didn't have insurance. And even the folks that I was with was like, oh, you have insurance, I don't know if they're going to take you, and this, that, and the other. It was all this thing about insurance. And I was like, well, my leg is kind of hanging, so I just need to get to a hospital. My thoughts is that, look, there's people in accidents every day. It's not like they're going to turn you away. And so my sister comes, we get the bike in the car, and I'm not sure why no one called the ambulance, but there was this concern about money. It's like, I'm not worried about money right now. If they're going to charge you, they're going to charge you. Send me the bill, but just get me to the hospital, for crying out loud. So I get to my sister's house, and I'm like, I can't move. I was like, you're going to have to call the ambulance. You're going to have to call the fire department, somebody. I cannot move my foot. I can't move my leg. And so she called the fire department, and she can't drive at night, as it was. She didn't really know where to go, where to take me, anything, and didn't really know the protocol. So I said, look, call the fire department. I'll call them. And I called and told them that I'd been in the accident. I was at my sister's house, and I was in her car, and she can't drive, and please help. In this calm voice too, because it's nothing like the commercial. I've fallen and I can't get up. It's even when I fell, I wasn't like, help, somebody help me. I was more like, help. And what's the trip? There was a guy in the apartments across from the train, just right down the Exposition. He came down, pretty awesome dude. He's like, here, man, want some water? I was like, hell yeah, thank you. So he gave me some water. He's like, man, this is so bad. He's like, there's I've seen so many accidents right here. So many people have fallen off their bikes. And it's just not cool. He's like, but your accident is probably the worst I've seen. And Yeah, because it was so weird. It took two of them to help me into the vehicle, and I probably shouldn't have been moving. Again, my first thing was should have been to call 911, but your brain is running a mile an hour. I was like, let me call my sister. She should know best, and even the ride to her place was just painful, painful, painful. And then, remember she was like, well, can put some ice on it. I was like, I don't think you understand here. My foot was that way, and I turned it back this way. That means it is broke. I got to get to the hospital. So the fire department showed up. I remember their names, Peterman and Smith. Real awesome dude. And I was like, dude, you guys have like a TV show name. So it was definitely TV show names. I think Peterman said his other partner used to be called Woodstock. I was like, Peterman and Woodstock? Nah, Peterman and Smith. There's a brother and a white dude. They were real cool because Peterman was like, let me see. They made this splint out of cardboard, got it stabilized for the ride. And Peterman was like, well, I'm going to take you where, if I was banged up like this, I would want to go. So he took me to Martin Luther King outpatient care. And that's where, everything started. Now, the experience in I've never broken anything like this. I've been to another bicycle accident where someone opened up their car door on me, and how I survived that, I have no idea. That's a whole nother story. One other accident was I dislocated my shoulder on roller skates. This is maybe back in 2010, 2009, something like that. It was Halloween night. I guess I was adjusted to the hospital, but you never adjusted to being in the hospital, broken up, emergency or whatnot. So I'm on this gurney and people are looking at my foot like, whoa, look at that foot. Something happened, and everybody would know what happened. And I'm just a jolly dude, period, upbeat spirituality, and, but I was sitting there like, wow, how this is such a crazy accident and thing to be in, timing. What happened to all the positive vibes that I was putting out, the great energy. And I was listening to this Buddhist who talks about soul healing, about how we have the power of soul healing to heal ourselves, and healing the soul will help heal the mind and body, once you heal the soul. So I've been listening to him when I pulled over a couple times on my bike trail. I'm like, and then, all this stuff in the hospital, I was just thinking like, what happened to all that? The abundance is it still coming? Is the movie that I made up in my mind, is it still coming? It's all still coming, right? And this accident is just something that had to happen. Maybe I'm not supposed to be in the Bay Area. Maybe I'm supposed to be here in LA, and bigger things on the way. All right. Well, there it is. And the hospital, people are doing the best that they can, under the pressure of just trying to help people in pain. There was a lot of people just in pain. So when you're in pain, you curse. I was trying not to curse. X-rays was not cool. So we have to do something about the X-rays over at MLK, because the machine kept breaking down. They had to keep hitting it like it was the Fonz in the jukebox to get it working. But in the meantime, they're moving my leg around, and that just was not fun. Oh shit. And other than that, and then one of the young interns, I want to know I want to know everyone's age. That was not age, but I want to know how long they had been working in the profession that they were in prior to working on me. And the one cat that was making the cast or the rap, he said he had been doing this for about 2 years. And after a while, after some meds, it's almost like they kind of forgot about me. There were other things going on. I was told that there's a few babies that came in with seizures, and there was a lady who came in, she was just yelling of pain. Oh God, oh, it hurts. Oh, I felt bad for her. I was like, well, I guess I'm happy to be alive. Happy to be alive out there. It's the most pain I've felt in quite a while, but I'm just happy to be alive because good things are coming, and I can feel it. So, I think they released me they kept me overnight, but here's the thing, they were trying to put me on crutches that night, and I was like, dude, there's no way I'm getting on crutches. There's no way. Who's this doctor that's trying to put me on crutches? I believe my foot is broke. And have you guys looked at the x-rays? That's where I started to learn that, being single, not so great. And not really having someone there with you in the hospital, not so great. Because you got to have other people talking for you. These doctors are, I guess they do what they do, and they're in an emergency, and they have to make an assessment. They got to make room for other people. But trying to put me on crutches, and with the wrapping that this guy had put on my foot, it just was not supportive. And he's like, yeah, so you're gonna hold your foot like this. And I was like, there's no way I can hold my foot like that. Are you kidding me? The weight of my feet hanging based on what you've done so far, it's not going to work. So, of course, we tried. I, managed to move my leg off the bed. And the pain is just coming. So the medicine that they give me, it just burned right through that. And I tried what he said. I said, dude, this isn't going to work. What you have done with the wrapping is not going to work. You got to find some kind of way to support this foot so it's not just dangling. You have it one way, but you don't have it the other way. You're going to need to do it both ways. I'm telling this guy how to do his job. I mean, you know your body. You know what you're feeling. I mean, so they tried it again. And I guess it was determined that, I just stay overnight. And then they gave me all the paperwork. The good thing was that Medi-Cal, there's a thing called emergency Medi-Cal. In case you people don't know, you can, if you don't work if you don't work or whatever the qualifications is, I qualified because I'm not working. I was looking for work. I qualified for that, and then I filled out the forms. They helped me fill out the forms later for an extension of Medi-Cal. So I'm covered. I hope I don't receive any bills. If so, I'll be passing on to someone else, like, the people who don't have a sign up saying, there should be no bicycle crossing right here, but whatever. I'm not going to get into that. So, I was told that I was given my forms and admissions. How'd I get home? They called the taxi home, taxi to my sister's place. That was pretty hard. The ride home was cool. The taxi driver was cool. He was giving me some real positive stuff. He's like, "Oh, you'll be good, man." He's like, "You're a trooper, I can tell." He said, "You stand positive, you made it through this." He's like, "So you'll be fine. The healing is, you just need some healing, and just probably need to sit down for a while. I was like, yeah, all good. And he was, I won't go into the conversation we had, but it was a good conversation about a lot of stuff, mostly talking about dating. And I had given him the wrong address, for some reason. I was off by a number. And so he finally got me here, and I hopped along into my sister's place, and I was told that it would, someone would call me in a couple days to schedule a update appointment. It's a possibility that I would need surgery. So I waited maybe a day and a half. The next day, I actually hopped around in my sister's kitchen to, because she had to work. Hopped around my sister's kitchen, made me some turkey bacon, and I had some dough already produced, and I produced some dough, and I just tried to keep myself, uplifted, and cooked myself some food. My sister cooked some food for me, and then by day 2, I was like, well, you know what? It's almost 5 o'clock. I haven't heard from these people. Let me give them a call. So I give them a call, and they're like, oh, yeah, you have an appointment at 7:30. I'm like, were you going to call me? They're like, oh, maybe someone called you. I said, no one's called. I've had my phone right here because I can't go far. He's like, oh, well, yeah, you're set for 7:30. And it's like, all right, cool, perfect. Now I need to find a ride. I know my sister had to work. My sister had to work. So I reached out to my buddy Jason, and he was I actually talked to my homegirl Aurelia. She actually put some money in my Venmo account, but my account is overdrawn by Pod Storage. Thank you, Pod Storage, for pushing that through when I asked you not to. So if I put any money into the account, it's gonna, just take what's overdrawn. So I call my boy Jay, and Jason sent or texting back and forth, and he sent a lift to take me to the hospital. So I went back to MLK. I was there for a while. I got there pretty early, ahead of time. I didn't see my doc for, I don't know, maybe 3 hours or so. I was the first one in the hospital, to tell the truth. And then all these people showed up, and I had to get another x-ray. That wasn't fun. Still wasn't fun. The machine worked, but just x-rays, not fun. They're not there to have fun with you. They're there to get an x-ray, clear x-ray. Great doctor, great staff. The guy Blake that worked in ortho, he rewrapped everything because he said there would be some swelling, and gave me some instructions to follow, and I followed those instructions, and they said they would be transporting me to UCLA Harbor Medical Center, and that's where the surgery would happen, and they would make some determinations there. So ambulance transported me to a very busy Harbor Medical Center, UCLA Medical Center. Very, very busy. I wasn't in a whole lot of pain, but I still had meds in my system, so met with the ortho guys, and I think they did another wrapping. They had to do more x-rays because apparently people don't share x-rays amongst different divisions of the medical industry. Although your birth date and name stays the same, they don't share, x-rays, or they want their own x-rays. So More x-rays determined that I had broken, the bone, I guess the bone that connects the ankle. And they asked me if I want to see the x-rays. I was like, sure, absolutely. Let me see. I need to see what's going on. Showed me that and said, well, definitely need surgery. They were thinking that a rod needed to be placed from my knee all the way down, and then some braces and metal and screws. It was later determined, and they were going to do surgery as early as the next day or next morning. It was determined that closer to surgery that the doc wasn't going to install the rod, and that we would just do the plates and the screws at the base. That was a relief. Couldn't imagine some kind of metal rod in my knee. Couldn't imagine screws and plates in my knee. Next thing you know, I'm on my bed and I'm getting pre-opt. There's a few neighbors that I had. This one guy, he was really mean. He was cursing out people and damning God and all kind of stuff. And all I could do is send him positive energy. Like, dude, come on, man. I know they're just doing their part. No reason to call people stupid and damn God and all this other stuff. He was screaming. That was a trip. So we had some nurses come in. They prep you with the wipes, and you have to wipe down your arms and chest and thighs and whatever, And they got me pre-prep for surgery, which was to happen around 1:00 or so. And they moved me into a room, and all the nurses, everybody was super nice, super, super nice, great people. And they were asking me what happened, and I was telling them, repeating the story over. And next thing you know, I'm getting anesthesia, and the lady's talking to me, and they're rolling me into the room, and that's all I remember. When I woke up, I was back in my room, appearing to be in the same bed, quite a bit of pain. Some of the guys are talking to me. Some guys I recognize. And they're like, all right, everything was successful and this, that, and the other. You're going to feel this. You're going to feel that. Just rest up as much as you can, and maybe getting you out of here soon. Like, all right, one step at a time. And by the way, where are my pants? And more so, who took them? Who took my pants? Here's Electric Fire. It's a song I created in 2016. The boy Zach. It's called Electric Fire. Only on the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. This is the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. I'm your host, the PatMan, from the Bay to LA and beyond. EpiShow number 44. I've fallen and I can't get up. As I said before, that commercial is no longer funny to me. It wasn't funny in the first place, but it really is. It's just some weird commercial, but I could have used that button. I could use that button right now. Breaking a bone is no joke. Breaking anything is no joke. Falling is a serious business. And how's this incident changed me? How's it? I've leading up to this time in my life, it's I've gone through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've gone through a lot. I've rolled over stones. I've dealt with the past issues, forgiveness, empathy, spirituality, etc., 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 yoga. All these things that I've done, it's like I've been training to this point to get me through this, because I don't think if I had any of that training or any of that pre-work that I would be able to get through this, because I'm not sure of the word I can use to describe it, because you take things like for granted, things like walking, things like going to the bathroom. When you have to go to the bathroom, you go, you use it, you go. Things like washing your hands. You wash your hands, you wash it. Things like brushing your teeth. Now it's like, oh my God, I got to brush my teeth. That means I got to get the vac, make sure it's plugged in. I got to re-plug it back in. I got to gather some energy just to move my foot, just to move that. And I'm on a walker too. The last time I saw a walker was I was at this Thai massage. True story, by the way. I was in this massage place in off of Abbot Kinney, and their thing is we walk on your back. So I remember that day. This was a few years back, and this lady, she was nothing like what you see in the movies of a massage lady giving you a massage or whatever. And next thing you know, she's walking on my back, but she's not just walking on my back. She's got a walker. She's walking on my back with a walker. I'm not kidding you, people. I'm not making this up. That's the last time I saw a walker. And this old Asian lady was walking on my back with a walker. And I said, this is the last time I come to this massage place. I'm never coming back. And you guys are going to get a bad Yelp from me at some point. I don't think I ever made that Yelp, but I just will not be returning to that place. And I don't think they're still around. Hope they're not around, because they should not be walking on people's backs with walkers. It's terrible. It's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. Terrible idea. As you can see, I'm keeping spirits up because I have to. But that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I got a few text messages from a few people who I reached out to, and people just reached out to me beforehand. And, there's a lot of big opportunities in the works that I don't want to speak on just yet. But there's a lot of great opportunities that are working behind the scenes. And by the time I go through the 6 week of healing and then rehab, I would then be, plugged into all the great things that has to do with podcasting and my ministry through my bakery and my music, ministry through other ministries of events that are going on throughout LA. There's a couple of business development marketing, because I have a business development marketing background. A couple guys need my help. And there's an awesome restaurant downtown LA that is reopening, revamping everything that has to do with their nightlife and food life. And I've been talking to these guys for maybe a connection over there for a couple months now, and the call came through, while I was on the phone with Moms, and I was like, yo, chef, the other chef wants to meet you, man. He's fired up. We gotta talk. I said, yeah, well, let me let you know this. My foot is busted up. I broke my ankle. And he's like, all right, well, that's cool. Not cool, but if you can make it on Thursday, man, just try to sit down and talk to him, because he seems real fired up. He's got a sweet tooth, and I told him about your plant-based desserts, and I was like, oh, man, it's so awesome, man. This is such good news. And he called me back to back, so I know he was really trying to get a hold of me. And I finally told him, Mom, so I was like, hey, let me hit you back. It's a really important call coming through. And then there was another call before that. One of the reverends of music, I'll call it the Reverend of Music, really big here in LA. We connected last summer, and she and I are going to work on some things. And the universe is, like I said, the card that I pulled on abundance and everything that you've wished for and is coming true. And the picture was like a kid kneeling down with a rainbow pot of gold and just looking up to the heavens. And the message to me was like, imagine what that looks like, what it feels like. And that was my bike ride, what it felt like, imagining what it looked like, what kind of house I would live in, how I would help humanity, how my bakery operations would work, how, my products would, get distributed to 98.3 million people worldwide. And we're just talking about one country. And I'm talking about the U.S., talking about one country. So a lot of awesome things are working in the background. That's what's really keeping me positive and focused on healing, speedy recovery. I hadn't opened my laptop or done a podcast since I got home from the surgery, and I don't have Facebook on my phone. I only have Instagram, so I put a message on Instagram and got a great outpour of support and prayers from all my Instagram followers. And then I posted last night just to update some of my friends on Facebook. So I do have some of the best and awesomeness friends on Facebook. And, it's two lives. We have two lives, people. We have our reality, social reality life. There's the people that of events and parties and connecting and networking and whatnot, and that we hang out with, and we're connected on Facebook. And then we have our reality life where we're, real time, and it's all good. It's just all good. Oh, one thing I'm remembering, and I remember to breathe because I'm starting to have that feeling again, is that I had the hiccups. I had the hiccups while I was sleeping at night. So every now and then, and I had to concentrate on breathing right and drinking less water. And one of the nurses told me that, it's layman terms when people say, drink more water, blah, blah, blah. That'll get rid of the hiccups. She said it's not true. She took a class, and they said it's about your breathing. It's because it's too much. You're not receiving, your blood's not receiving enough oxygen or something to that matter. So I believe her, because it was just terrible just to be hiccuping and trying to sleep. And it seemed like every time I sleep, someone was wrapping the high blood pressure gadget around my arm, taking my vitals. They were either taking my vitals or taking my blood. So needless to say, a couple good things came out of this. I'm resting. I no longer have a fear of needles. Pain is just what it is. I have medical insurance. The work is coming. There are people that need me, and it's good to be needed. And I got a response from a letter I'd sent a week prior to one of my employers of 10 years, and really awesome email. I read their email response maybe it was the day after, it was Friday. Recovery from the surgery, and tears just started falling down because it was perfect. It was a perfect letter, and I'd already put it out there, saying, just asking for forgiveness of any way I made anyone feel or taking them through anything, and I wasn't the person I was wanting to be, and they were just so open to it, and God bless them. God bless everybody on the planet, everybody who's reached out, everybody who may listen to this podcast. What can I give you to say thanks? Or accidents happen. That's all I can say. Accidents happen. This was very fluke. I would say don't cross railroad tracks on bicycles. I mean, even if it has a bike trail that goes across the tracks, I say don't go across any tracks on your bicycle. Even if you have to cross from it, just walk it across. You're better off. You're safer. I wasn't wearing a helmet. It's the second ride where I wasn't wearing a helmet. I feel like the accident where the car door opened on me, if I had been wearing a helmet, I would have been more injured, because the car door hit my jugular, or somehow it bent the wheel, the front wheel. The forks was broken, but then there was a puncture in my throat, so I couldn't speak for about 6 weeks, or it was very hard to speak for a long time. And I was using CBD oil to heal my throat. I went to emergency, and they were kind of surprised that I didn't puncture any or make any significant damage, permanent damage, and they stayed on top of that. That was Cedar Sinai who was looking at me after that for those last 2 accidents. So what do I have? I say, accidents happen. I say don't second guess stuff. Go with your first mind on things. If you're going to do something, just do it. And if it feels right, do it. Barry Long talks about the thinker. I talk about it all the time. The thinking is just, it's not you. It's other people's voices. It's other people's. It's a phantom. What he calls a pygmy. It doesn't exist. That's hijacked your body and your mind and telling you things when you've already made decisions, and comes in and second guesses you, and then you end up in situations that you wish you had not have been. Stay away from the Bitcoin currency trading thing unless you unless you got enough knowledge about that. I'm online with lynda.com learning a lot about everything I want to learn under the rainbow to regards of new technology, AI technology. There's a technology called Tableau, and it showed me how to put together business analytics. The time it would take a team to put together in a week, I learned it in 2 hours. So I'm doing a lot of online self-education. I'm going to continue that. I have a lot of links that I want to share with people. I want to start monetizing my website so I can get paid or get some kind of funds to help me with doctor appointments and getting back and forth to these doctor appointments, and probably get some food in here. Get some food, some fruits and vegetables. The good thing is I can cook, and I can direct people how to cook. So This has been great. I really want to do the podcast, and I was able to do it. Let me see. Let me check real quick and um, see if anyone's online. I didn't announce it. I hadn't set it up. There's my homegirl Tracy Anderson. There's her. Oh my God. I'm glad that you're okay, honey. Yes, I'm okay. Thank you, Tracy. Let me give a shout out to all the people who are giving the shout out. So Jude, I'm gonna give a shout out to Jude, my homegirl Genevieve, Peter Dice, homegirl Desi, DeLauro, awesome singer, my homegirl Stephanie Greg, homie Mark, cousin, what's up, cuzzo? Homegirl Anna back in the Bay, homegirl Tracy, cousin Monique, my homeboy Gerald, homie Lawrence T. Taylor, awesome DJ, homegirl Amanda, Samira, Chad, Tanya, boy Brian Dix, no military, so he's like, bring on the pain, PatMan's tough. Jackie Garcia, homegirl Tala, cousin Ken, and everyone else who will be chiming in from time to time. Thank you. Just thank you. If you know me, you know I'm a tough cookie, and you know, God's keeping me alive because, you know, I got a bigger message, bigger plan. He's got a bigger plan for me, and apparently it's going to work right here in LA while I'm in LA, and connect to the Bay, or the world, actually. Base of operations here in LA and connecting to the worldwide on, you know, health consciousness, period. USC, I want to say University of Southern California, is offering a Ayurvedic doctorate graduate program. So I missed because of the surgery and the accident, I missed they had a tour scheduled on 23rd. So I'll have to reach out to them and let them know what happened and why I wasn't able to attend. But they have an Ayurvedic. It's the first in the country. It's the first one in the country. And I think it's awesome because I've been following this one doctor for years. And I was like, I want to do what he does because I like what he does. And it kind of combines Eastern medicine and spirit, mind, body, and everything. Now, here's an awesome, this name hasn't popped up in my inbox in a very long time, but I've been listening to this guy the whole time. It's how the universe works. I've been listening to this guy. I got turned on to this guy back maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I was listening to, I believe, KCRW. His name is Mark Waldman. Mark Waldman is the executive MBA faculty at Loyola Marymount University. And I downloaded his MP3s. I bought his MP3s. Great content. This is, I don't know how to explain. You have to look up Mark yourself and just kind of hear some of the things he has to say about, you know, brain training and mindfulness and positivity. Because through all this, that's what I've been listening to in my MP3 player. Listen to him, listen to a lot of the exercises that he has. And now I'm looking in my inbox. There's a message from him. I hadn't seen a message from Mark Waldman in quite a while. It actually came through on Sunday, a day ago. So you can check out Mark at Neural Wisdom. That's NEURO wisdom.com, or Mark Robert Waldman. It's all one word, .com, and see what he has to say. I mean, like I said, I downloaded his series of neural wisdom, how to change the brain, how to, talk to God, and, mindfulness, et cetera, et cetera. And it's been doing wonders for me. I'm sure if it's doing wonders for me, it can do wonders for you. In this newsletter, he is offering free new videos to watch. So I'll probably spend the day watching those, as well as going back on LinkedIn and learning what I want to learn and adding it to my LinkedIn profile. If, like I said, I am looking for work, there's quite a few opportunities that have presented itself, and my background is facility management, director of facilities and operation. I've been doing this stuff for over 25 years. I've come across some awesome technology that can turn a company around in 90 days or less. Between my brain and that technology, and I also have access to another technology that will provide your company to be hackable, hackable or not hackable, disruptive technology. Meaning no one will be able to break into your company files and take stuff. They have to go through layers and layers and layers and layers of stuff. So I'm working with a buddy of mine who has developed this technology. He's been working on it for over 25 years. And the other technology I'm speaking of, I came across them just last week. And that's why I was really fired up because about moving forward, because I discovered these new technologies, this new platforms of e-learning online. Because if you are like me in the position of not being able to move around and your brain is still working and your hands are working and you have access to a laptop, shoot, there's some stuff you can learn and add to your resume and able to help people with the emerging new technologies that are coming in. And YouTube is just great for all this stuff. It's never a dull moment. The e-learning business side of things has been growing out of control. It's projected $382 billion business, because if you like learning and it's always there, it's always evolved learning. You can never learn too much, and there's always something else to learn. So currently I'm learning about mining. I'm learning about blockchain basics, the basics of blockchain. There's a really awesome, I have something in my library. Yeah, I have something in my library. I have to sign back up. Let's see, sign in. On business, how to create your business, how to create a business, basically. This really awesome dude. He breaks down the basics of your new business plan. What's my library card number? I gotta look it up. Anyway, good people, I got a lot of stuff to share with you. I'm going to rest up a little. I've been running now for about an hour on this podcast. I'm going to get back to learning. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everything. I'm going to just go ahead and confirm a few cousins and relatives out there who have been reaching out on Facebook, because it's a new day. It's a new day. I want to send some vibes out to a good buddy, Pierre Moultrie. He's been in hospice here and there, dealing with some medical issues of his own. It's a lot of love out there in the Bay Area, in LA, and everywhere. There's a song I've been promising to release to you guys, but maybe I can release it and try to, get some funding from it. $1 a download, 1,000 people listen to this song. I got $1,000, and I can take that 1,000 and put it towards, some food and keeping the websites up and running, paying for my storage, which contains all my music equipment and everything else, and just keep moving. Just keep moving. This is how I move. This is how I move forward. And just staying positive as much as possible. That's the key to healing. Not to get down on yourself, and it can always be worse. I could be dead. Can't say anything from while you're dead. And I don't believe we die. I think we're energy, so we move from this earthly vessel because we are experiencing, we're spiritual beings experiencing humanness, in its earthly form, learning lessons, learning what we can so we can go back and report and for whatever's next. No one knows. So, but I wouldn't be able to communicate with you as much, and there would be a lot of content and that I would want to share before I leave the earth. There's a lot of snacks and stuff that people need to taste and try and know that, you don't need a sugar spike, because I've created the ultimate recipes for the ultimate snacks, and it's just goodness, people. It's goodness. I'm your host, the PatMan, Patrick Anderson, from the Bay to LA and beyond, for the Intelligent Human Voice Podcast Network. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank God. I thank you. I thank you because you are part of God. You are part of the one consciousness, God consciousness, and I hope that in your adventures that we don't take life for granted. Every day is a gift. Every time you wake up in the morning, you see the sunshine or see the clouds or see anything, just open your eyes. Just thank the God. Thank the universe. Thank whoever. Thank you for opening your eyes, because you can't do it by yourself. If you think you can do it by yourself, you're so mistaken. So mistaken. Moving forward. All right. Hope all is good in your life, in your journey, and I'll record another podcast soon. All right. Peace. Love. Soul healing. Soul power healing. Soul power healing. Peace.